Well, hello there, YouTube. It's Ro here. Thank you for visiting You Grow Ro. If this is your first time, I hope you'll consider subscribing at the end of this video. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you. Today, I'm all excited because I finally did it. I have narrowed down the seed varieties of tomatoes that I plan to grow in 2024. And I'll tell you all about them in just a second. Alright guys, you heard that right. I have figured out what seeds I plan to grow in 2024. Here's the rub. I don't know how many seeds coming in from all the different seed swaps that I've done. So this might change. More than likely it'll change, but this is what I'm thinking today. Okay, so I broke them down into, let's see, 4 categories. All right, so the first one I'm gonna start with is my cherries. Now, I grew some cherries last year. Hated one of them. Another one I liked, it was very productive. And then one didn't take off, but I liked where I grew it at. And so I'm gonna grow all my cherries. I'm gonna go grow 6 cherries. And they're gonna go in that wooden contraption with the buckets that I had. I'm gonna move that to the other side of my deck. And I'm gonna grow all 6 of my cherry tomatoes over there where it gets way more sun. Well, for longer than that area gets more sun for longer. Okay, so first up will be the black cherry. I have grown this before and I grew it last year, but I didn't get hardly any tomatoes off of it, maybe a handful. It took so long for that plant to get going that it didn't even produce for me. By the time fall was around, like I said, I had about 3 or 4 that I pulled, and then some had split, and I was really sad because it's a very tasty tomato. I enjoy it very much. And so this year I'm gonna grow it again and hopefully do a lot better. This was the reason for me thinking I need to move that contraption to another area. It was fine where it was for the time being because I had broccoli growing in there, but I'm not doing broccoli at all this year. So I'm going to be moving that whole setup into a sunnier location, and hopefully my cherry tomatoes will love it. But black cherry, it's a must. Next is a cherry I haven't ever grown, and I got these seeds from freeheirloomseeds.org. It's the cherry white tomato. I don't know much about it. I just decided I wanted to do a rainbow of cherry tomatoes, and obviously, I don't know if white is in there, but it's more like a cream color. And I've never had a white tomato, period. I know that I have seeds for the white tomasol, and I have seeds for the, I think it's called great white tomato. I haven't grown them yet though. So I'm gonna start with my whites with the white cherry. Looking forward to that. Then I'm gonna be, we already talked about this in a different video when I did the seed haul for this from Woodland Creations, but I'm gonna be growing the adorable accordion cherry tomato. This one's red, it's fluted or ribbed, however you wanna call it, and it's just gonna be so awesome. It's kind of a little tiny stuffer tomato is what I'm thinking I'm gonna be growing, and I'm just looking forward to it. Not just because of the novelty of it, but I think a couple years ago I grew a stuffer tomato and I enjoyed it. I usually put the same thing in it. It was either an orzo seasoned kind of salad thing, or it was some kind of cream cheese something or other, you know, mix. But it was good, and I haven't had it in several years, so here's my chance, my opportunity to do that. Next up is my gonna be the orange cherry tomato. I got these seeds from Guten Yarning. If you've seen his channel, then you know why I said it that way. He sent me these seeds, I don't know, probably 2 years ago. and I hadn't grown them yet, so I'm gonna grow them this time around. So we're doing an orange cherry tomato from Guten Gardening. Here I have some green grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes that I'm gonna be growing. These are from my tomato hero, Mr. Craig LaHoyer. He sent me these whenever I sent in a book to get his signature or his autograph, and he sent me some seeds in the book that came with the autograph, and this was one of the packs. I haven't grown it yet, looking forward to growing it. I did a whole video on it and it was so fun. I thought it was such a fun video. I'll link that up here for you guys. You can check that out. It's from probably 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but it was cute. Nah, more like 3. And then finally, to round things out, I'm gonna grow the purple bumblebee. I've grown a bumblebee before. I think it was the sunrise bumblebee, but I haven't grown the purple one yet. So that's gonna round out my 6 cherry tomatoes that I'm gonna be growing in 2024. All right, so my next category for tomatoes that I'm gonna be growing in 2024 is my sauce tomatoes. I grew a couple of tomatoes this year and I made sauce from them, not nearly enough. I saved, I think it was like 30 pounds worth of tomatoes, and we went through the sauce, no joke, within like 3 weeks. Done. He absolutely loved it. And I've been making sauce ever since. We're just nuts now. We won't even do the jar stuff anymore. Like, no, no. I gotta make it. Anyways, so I'm hoping to do 2 of each of these plants and getting a ton more tomatoes saved up so that I can make some of that special sauce for us. All right, so first up, I'm gonna be doing the Super Sauce Hybrid. I got those seeds from Burpee, and it says that they produce gallons of luscious, seedless sauce from a single plant harvest. Fruits weigh in at 2 pounds and are a whopping 5.5 inches tall by 5 inches wide. 1 tomato fills an entire sauce jar. Indeterminate. Harvest about 70 days after transplanting. So if that's not a sauce tomato, I don't know what is. The only thing they didn't describe is what the taste was like. But have you ever met a tomato you didn't like? I haven't, not yet. Although I haven't grown a whole lot of them either. I've probably grown about, I would say maybe 30 varieties. And I was just reading somewhere that there's over 10,000 varieties of tomatoes. What? That is crazy. And more being made all the time. I know this because I'm trading seeds with actual breeders of tomatoes. These people are nuts. They're geniuses, but they're nuts. So yeah, Super Sauce Hybrid. Then I'm going to do, now I grew this one last year and loved it. It gave me some big, huge tomatoes, and like I said, my sauce was excellent, so why wouldn't I grow this again? It's the Pantano Romanesco. Got the seeds from Baker Creek, and it says it's a Roman heirloom that was sent to them by Mr. Barbetti from Italy. Large, deep breadfruit flesh is very rich, juicy, and singularly flavorful. It was delicious. It was awesome, and it was super productive. This was a really nice tomato for me, so I will be growing that again. I got here the Giant Belgium. I haven't grown this one yet, but I've been wanting to grow it. Would you look at that? Look at that deliciousness. Oh my goodness. I've been wanting to grow it, but see, prior to last year, I'd always been a container gardener, and I just was not having the best luck with growing giant tomatoes in containers. And so this time, because I have ground to grow in, obviously, I am going to be trying my hand at some of these big ones, like this Giant Belgium and that Super Sauce Hybrid. It's indeterminate. And interestingly, this Ohio heirloom, I'm here in Ohio, I thought that was great, so I have to try it, is massive and overflowing with rich flavor and can grow from 1 to 5 pounds. Could you imagine? Deliciously sweet, perfect for juicing, adding to sauces, or fresh eating. Staking is required. Harvest before the pink color reaches the top of the fruit. I'm gonna forget that, but hopefully I don't, but I think I will. But yes, this is an Ohio heirloom, and here I am in Ohio, so it's meant to be. It's meant to be. I grew this last year as well, and it did very well for me. I want to say 3 plants. Huge producer, probably the biggest producer I had of all of my tomatoes last year. That is the big rainbow. It was also equally beautiful. It's a very pretty tomato. It's very mottled on the inside, the same way the color is kind of marbled on the outside. And it tasted great. Again, my sauce was fabulous, so I'm gonna do that again. Also grew the Amish paste last year, and it did very well for me. Doing it again. I think we've all grown the Amish paste a time or two. The Amish paste, what did it kick out? I was gonna do the Italian Roma, and I said, no, I'm gonna go with the Amish paste. I also did the San Marzano last year, but I knocked that out for what I'm about to show you. So yeah, Amish paste, going in my garden again this year. And lastly, for my 6th variety of paste tomato, I'm gonna be growing the Steakhouse Hybrid. This one's from Burpee, and it says, add up to 3 pounds. Meet the biggest tomato ever bred with true heirloom flavor and head-spinning fragrance. Harvest about 75 to 80 days after transplanting. What? Head-spinning fragrance? Ooh. Okay, make my head spin. So I'm all excited for those. That's yay. All right, my next category that I have here, I was calling specialty. So I don't have a picture of it. I'll just put it up on the screen here. The first one is the Can Torre. It's a long keeper tomato. I know in the previous video I told you guys about long keepers briefly whenever I told you about joining seed swaps to get new seeds. This is one of the tomatoes the gentleman was talking about in the video that I referenced. And so I got my hands on some seeds, and I'm gonna be growing that and hopefully hanging some tomatoes in my home, in my basement, maybe, I don't know, or in my kitchen where I have plenty of room. Somewhere hanging in my home for months on end will be these Can Torre tomatoes, ripening slowly and giving me freshness even up until February. Although they'll be picked in October, I'm guessing. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the Ananas Noir. I've been wanting to grow this thing for I couldn't tell you how long. I just never got around to it, and I just cannot ignore this beauty of a specimen. I mean, this tomato is just amazing looking. I've never had a green tomato before, and this one's green and red. Oh, it says it's also known as the black pineapple tomato. Hails from Belgium. It has a lovely tie-dye burgundy red and green interior. Like the colors inside, the flavor is complex with a smoky, acidic, and sweet flavor profile. Make a wicked sauce with this tomato or enjoy it on salads. I'm getting shivers just thinking about these tomatoes, you guys. Shivers. Ah! And then I've grown this one before. I didn't grow it last year, and I want to go back to it. It made a wonderful, wonderful pico de gallo. I did this with like a little orange or a yellow tomato, and you know, my lime juice, jalapeno, salt, cilantro, whatever. But it's a wonderful tomato, and these seeds I got again from my tomato hero, Mr. Craig LaHoyer. He sent me these, and I was saying Niagus. If I'm saying it wrong, tell me, but that's what I'm reading. And this is an indeterminate tomato. It was delicious. I loved it. It says it's a great black tomato that is virtually blemish-free. Baseball-sized fruits are born in clusters of up to 6 fruits, which is true and true. Very productive, also true. Excellent full flavor, true. Great for markets. So yeah, I missed this tomato. I want to go ahead and grow this again. Also, these seeds are from 2016. And so I need to grow this again so I can save the seeds so I can have some that are a little more current. Seeds can last for a very long time, we know that, but 2016, ooh, playing with fire. Maybe not, but maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but still, it's time for me to get back to growing that. Okay, and then my last category of tomatoes that I'll be talking about today is my early tomatoes. I'm going to be growing 3 early tomatoes. Now I did this, I skipped last year, but I've done it 2 years prior to that. So this would be my 3rd time doing this, and that is growing cold hardy-ish tomatoes early in the spring so that I could start harvesting in early June, maybe even as early as late May. It worked very well for me 2 years prior, and so why not give it a go again, right? And back then I was growing in containers and it worked really well. So I'm gonna try it again because I'm trying to get as many tomatoes as I can put up. So, those tomatoes are, let's see, okay. We got the Subarctic Maxi. I got those 2 seeds from the Tomato Growers Supply Company. Excuse me, as a determinate variety, 62 days, one of a series of extra early tomatoes bred for extremely cold climates. Dwarf vines produce concentrated clusters of 2.5 ounce fruit with good flavor. Excellent for northern gardeners or anyone seeking early tomatoes. So that was a no-brainer. Then I'm doing the Mountain Princess. I got these seeds from In My Gardener. And it says here, this heirloom tomato has been grown for decades, specifically for its cold hardiness and compact shape. The fruits ripen to a deep red and weigh 4 ounces. Specifically for its cold hardiness. Yeah, I'm growing it. And then lastly, I'm going to be growing the Cloudy Day Hybrid Tomato. I got the seeds from Burpee. And it says here, thrives in cooler temperatures and laughs off early and late blight. Cloudy Day's juicy, flavorful, glossy 4 to 5 ounce pure red cocktail fruits infuse salads, soups, and sauces. Indeterminate harvest about 70 days after transplant. Perfect, right? It's meant to be. All right, guys. I hope I gave you some suggestions for your own gardens, things that you might want to grow. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I do have another video coming out on tomato varieties, but this will be about what I will be growing in my green stalks. I'm gonna be doing, I haven't decided. I thought I was just gonna do all tomatoes in one, micro dwarf tomatoes in one green stalk, but now I have seeds for maybe 3 varieties, I think, of micro dwarf peppers. So maybe I'll do a micro dwarf pepper and tomato green stalk. I don't know, I haven't decided. But anyways, either way, I have collected a plethora of micro dwarf tomato seeds, and I will be doing a video on which of those will be growing in my green stalk. So, all right, friends, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in another video on another day. Until then, happy growing.